Hi, everybody. Verl Workman here, CEO of Workman Success Systems, and welcome to the Faces of Real Estate. We have an exciting episode for you today with Heidi Wehring from Houston, Texas, with Compass. Heidi's going to not only share with us some of the things she's done, but some of the things that are happening around the community in the Houston area right now. Heidi, thank you for joining us. We're excited that you're here. Tell us a little bit about your team. Tell us about your business. Sorry.
Oh, well, I'm a single agent. I'm not part of a team, but work with a group of agents here with Compass, and we all work together in this area and help each other out. It's in the Spring Branch area, and, you know, just have an assistant and just me.
Well, guess what? That's a team. You know, as soon as you don't do it yourself anymore and you start creating leverage, you're a team. Everybody defines it differently. I like to think that everybody's a team, even if your team consists of the partners that you utilize or people we call on to make us be specialists in real estate. So in my mind, everybody that I talk to has some form of a real estate team. And it's cool that you're in a new brokerage. Tell me about that transition experience. You said that you've got some cool people that you're interacting with and meeting.
It was, I actually set my goal last year to produce enough to have Compass reach out to me. And you have to have a certain amount of production, and then they did, and I was really excited. And then it was a hard decision because I loved my previous broker, but I have to tell you, in this time, I am so excited that I did make the change. It's such a positive environment, and the technology and the tools that they have are just amazing. I'm very glad I made the switch. I feel good things about it.
You know, I've met so many amazing people from so many different companies, and what I've learned is that if if you surround yourself with like-minded people, you'll attract other people that are like that, and that culture that gets created makes getting up every day and going to work more enjoyable. And so I'm glad that you're finding that. I think that's really cool. Tell us a little bit about your family. Tell us a little bit about Heidi.
Well, I'm married and I live in Spring Valley, Texas. I have two children. I have a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. Love animals and have those. And, you know, I've been married since, oh my goodness, '03. It's been a journey. It has been.
You act like that's like a really, really long time.
Probably not compared to you, but no, it's been great. And it's a little crazy from time to time, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
That's fun. So what kind of animals are you into?
Oh, just about everything. I have a bad habit of tending to find every stray animal on the street, but I just have a adopted rescue dog and a cat I scraped up off the freeway, and we're just all here.
That's fun that your kids see that, though, that they see that part of you. My kids would adopt lots of animals if I would let them. We just have one dog. That's like one too many, but it's like part of the family. Like, seriously, this dog is like major thing. Dad can go away for like months and the kids don't miss me. If the dog were gone, it would be like devastating.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We would have more, but my husband has brought down the hammer and says no. So anyway.
That's how I feel about children. We have 6, and you know, the hammer's been it's down. We're done. 6 and out. Well, it's fun having teenagers. 14-year-old in the house is a lot of fun. My 13-year-old is my youngest, and she's by far my favorite child. I tell all the older kids that all the time because she just has lots of love, and I get 100 hugs a day. Just a happy person, and it's fun to be around that age group. They're just kind of getting awkward and changing, and like going into junior high school and meeting new friends. So it's a fun time in life to have those kids at home.
It is fun, and I hope you have a good health plan that has a mental care side to it for your other children.
You know, they've moved out. They're on their own. They got to figure it out. If they have middle child syndrome, then it was intentional.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I know. No, it is fun watching them grow. It is. Both of my girls are sporty, so we're at sporting events and all the time, and it's really fun watching them grow.
You know, I've had a lot of friends and clients over the years in Houston. There's a lot of amazing people in that general area, and I was really humbled to watch over the last several years as different hurricanes come in and you have these different weather events, to watch the community just come together. And it's I mean, it's a pretty amazing group of people.
I agree. I agree.
So it's got to be fun to live in that kind of a community. Tell us a little bit about the areas you serve in the community you're in.
So I serve a lot of Spring Branch, but I've ended up, branching out all over the place. I live in a little area called Spring Valley, and it sort of is like a little Mayberry tucked in the middle of a big city. And if you're jogging down the street or walking, people are honking and waving, and it's a fun area. And we moved here obviously because of the school. The school is great, and it's just this whole area has just developed, and it is a great mix of demographics, and it is I really love it here. And community is very supportive. I get tons of referrals from friends and acquaintances here, and so yeah, I really like it here.
That's fun. All right, so let's get into how you. It sounds. I mean, clearly you love where you live and you love the company you're with and all the things that are going on. I'd like to hear a little bit about how you give back. In real estate, I like to say that we're blessed with a lot of opportunities. We have the ability to make a tremendous income. It takes care of our families, and I really love highlighting those of you who like to make a difference in the communities that give us such great opportunities. Tell me a little bit about what you do.
So we had an initiative. I do a lot of things that it seems like I've kind of just ended up there by some kind of weird universe pulling me in. I'm not really sure, but our latest initiative was created through Compass. We have Sabrina Evans is the head of our marketing department at Compass here in Houston, and she is amazing, and brainstormed, and we created an initiative called Ribbons for Compassion. And essentially, it was really simple. You, as an agent, would purchase a box, and inside the box was a blue ribbon, and you could stick your business card in there, and there was a note about what it was all about. So the gist of it was each box was $5, and you bought the boxes, and all the money went towards Feed the Front Lines, which was an initiative to help local restaurants here stay afloat and feed all the nurses, doctors, and everyone else. So we did that. It was great success. It was really fun driving through the neighborhood and seeing all the blue ribbons that I had dropped off at doorsteps. And it was really funny because I had people actually calling me saying, "You didn't drop a blue ribbon at my door. You didn't drop a blue ribbon at my door." So I had to get more blue ribbons. So, but at that point, I'm about 150 blue ribbons in, and they're still all over the neighborhood. And we ended up, and I also doubled up with my agents here in Memorial, and probably all together, I would say we did over 500 boxes.
Wow.
And then the people that we dropped the boxes off to had the ability to donate. And through that, within 2 weeks of launching this campaign, we had raised over $40,000 to feed the front lines. And then we got to choose our local restaurants that we wanted to have participate in it. So we, got the ones in our area, the smaller mom and pop type organizations, and they were just thrilled, and it helped them. And it was really great. It got news media coverage, and we also set up little drive-bys for people that wanted to come by and donate money, and we would give them a blue ribbon to put around their tree. And it just ended up in a great campaign.
What does that feel like to you when you have a client call you and say, "Hey, I didn't get a blue ribbon. I want to give"?
Oh, you know what? And it's so funny because the people that ended up calling me were people that I had met actually through the school, through volunteering all those years. And some of them had given me referrals, but I've never actually sold or helped them buy a home. But I thought that that was great, that they wanted to be part of it, and they knew that something good was going on, and they wanted to do it. So absolutely 100% happy to bring you a ribbon.
I don't know about you, Heidi, but I think most people are good. Most people want to be part of something that is good, and they don't know how to do it. And so when they see you out there in the world doing it, they want to be part. I think it just is really cool.
Oh, I agree. I would have to say, hands down, most people are good. And we're in Houston through several natural, you know, tragedies and devastation. I mean, I've just seen Houston work, and it's really a very interesting big city. It's more diverse than New York City. We have more diversity in Houston. We are the most diverse city in the United States right now.
Yeah.
And to see all of it come together is really pretty exciting, and how people help one another. I just think that sometimes that people just need a purpose. They feel it, they want to do it, but they just need to know how to do it. And if and you just need to be purposeful in what you do. And I think you lead with your heart more than your head. Get out of your head and do things with your heart, and grow things organically and truthfully. And that's my motto. Hands down, I believe it 100%.
So you've done a lot of things besides the blue ribbon thing. Tell me a little bit about your local pantry.
So we have a local pantry here, and this is another thing I just kind of stumbled into. I mean, I was aware of it because for years I was the chairperson for a PTA committee at our school called Outreach from Within. And at that point, the demographic here, we had a ESL program at our school. And, when you started looking at the data, all of those children were the ones on free lunches and disadvantaged and what have you, and they would go home on the weekends without school. So we literally developed a food pantry at our school, and we got backpacks, and nobody ever knew who the food was going through. I coordinated it all through the school counselor. We packed their backpacks. We made sure they had food for the summer. We made sure that they had Christmas presents. We made sure shoes, and we always bought them Nikes or whatever else that everybody else was wearing, so nobody would know that those were the kids. So we did that, and that's how I got in touch with the food pantry, because we would do food drives through the school. And then when I just realized the dynamic of what this little food pantry does, it feeds almost 400 families a month. And when I tell you that this place is not very big, I can't even tell you. But the month of COVID, out of this little food pantry, we served 900 families. It doubled. And
wow. Yeah, there's a lot of people hurting.
Yeah, they are. So it's just that's near and dear to my heart, because I don't know, I have empathy for these people that are over here struggling, trying to make a better life for themselves. And I feel like some of these people take 3 steps forward and 10 steps back, like my dad used to say. But I just feel like if I can help them do that, it's donations, monetary donations to the pantry. And then it's also volunteering there. And I only volunteer one Tuesday out of every month. And every Tuesday before I go, the night before, I send out an email or on Facebook, and I say, I'm volunteering tomorrow. The first 5 people that show up with donations, I'm giving out Starbucks gift cards.
Love it.
So I had, about 10 people donate last time. So it was good. It was good.
I think it's really fun to see you light up when you talk about the pantry and you talk about the kids and the families you want to serve. I can tell it's not a head thing, it's a heart thing.
Yeah, it is.
So do your kids get involved with you at all?
They do. My oldest daughter, used to go in the summers. And so the way it was structured, that the people would actually come through the pantry and they would shop. And then my daughter would actually just take care of the little kids and find little books for them to take home and things like that while the parents shopped. But with COVID, now they're not allowed in. We have to do all the shopping, and then we just meet them outside and they get their groceries. But yes, they have both volunteered there.
And so I don't know why I'm going to ask you this, but you made me think about this while you were talking. But was there something in your life that occurred or happened that made you want to pay attention to what's happening in other people's lives, that make you want to give back?
You know, I don't know exactly where it happened. I think I've just always kind of been that kind of person. I don't know how. I had a great mom and dad. My dad just passed away in July, but he was a military guy. We moved around a lot, and you know, we never really had a lot, right? So I grew up in a small town where hardly anybody had anything back in the day. So it was okay. And I didn't know anything different. But I don't know. I just kind of feel for these people just trying to make it and struggling. I don't know. I can't explain it. It's going to make me start crying, but I do. I do.
Well, I think that's awesome. And that's why we're doing this show, is because we want to highlight those of you that care so deeply. I think that most people that I talked to, it was really interesting. I just saw a recent study about millennials, and they were talking about how millennials want and almost have this need to be part of something bigger than themselves. And so if they will go to work for companies for less money if the company has the right causes. And I love that there's a generation that's coming up that's about, you know, making a difference. I think in the wealthiest country in the world, I don't think anybody should be homeless, and there shouldn't be any kids that don't have school lunch. When you see those kids eat, I mean, in our country, like, that's just not okay.
Crazy.
You know, we spend trillions of dollars all over the world, and I think we need to just like get our house in order and make sure that we continue to be such a great country, because there's so much wealth and blessings that are here. Anyway, you made me think about that. I grew up in poverty. I grew up in a pretty poor environment, and that's what makes me, you know, I think what spurred that thought was you said, I want to give these kids Nikes like everybody else has.
Right.
I was the kid that didn't have the Nikes that matched.
Me.
When everybody else was wearing button fly jeans, mine had zippers, and I was such a nerd, and I was so self-conscious about that. That's what we got for free from the welfare program that we were part of. So that makes me, when you spurred that, it just spurred a memory as a kid in me that made me go, yeah, right, that sucked. I hated that part.
I know. And I think that's why they never asked me to step down from that committee because of that. And, you know, I get the donations. I mean, I would get what it took to make it happen. I have been known to guilt a few people, that's for sure.
Like, in the giving, you know, your real estate closing skills come in handy when you have a cause behind it.
That's right. That's right.
I'm sure you're much better in that environment than even in real estate, because you have the passion and the heart behind it.
Well, hopefully I have some loyal customers, and I have a genuine relationship with most of them. And I called someone the other day, and she goes, I have not heard from you. Where have you been? And I said, well, I've been a little busy, Gloria. I'm really sorry. She goes, okay, when are we having lunch? You know, so I love that. I mean, I love that, you know, that acceptance by them. And they know that I'm not the salesperson just trying to get the deal closed and move to the shadows and leave them out there. But
no, I can see how you connect with people, and they're lifelong connections. They're not just real estate transactions.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so what are your plans going forward? Do you have any specific things that you want to get involved in, or you haven't had an opportunity that you'd like to do?
Well, you know, I've got a lot of things that I think about doing. It's just figuring out how to get there. I will always keep continuing reaching out in my community and things like that. I would like to ultimately find a piece of land and open up some kind of animal sanctuary, and that's my long-term goal, to not necessarily do it for any kind of profit, but just to get animals out there and take care of them and let them live peacefully that have been
So
mistreated.
funny.
Like that.
So funny you say that. I have a speaker friend. She's part of a mastermind group that I'm in, and she speaks, and she's like works with the NASA and the federal government, and she's a leadership trainer. It's phenomenal, but she does not love it. What she loves is her rescue farm, and
Yeah.
they have a small farm where they rescue animals, and the only reason she even works is to fund what she's passionate about. And it's so fun to listen to her because she's such an amazing leader. But
Yeah.
man, when you get her talking about those animals, it's like a whole different person shows up.
Yeah. And I've got a couple of investors, I think, lined up that they're passionate about it. One of them is trying to figure out how to make it work and keep it afloat. So it may be a combination of a daycare / boarding type thing along with rescue. I don't know. We're still working all of that out. We're still working on that.
Well, that's fun. I know that you're going to be able to figure that out. Let me just give you one last question. Is for someone who's trying to figure out how to make a difference, and maybe they don't have a lot of money or they have some money, but they want to give back, but they're not part of an organization that's putting on the Blue Ribbon program. Where do you tell them to start? Where do you start?
Well, first of all, I just think my own personal thought is that it is everyday people that make the biggest difference in this world. It's, you can be a Donald Trump and you can be a millionaire, but at the end of the day, you do not need a lot of money to put yourself out there. You can volunteer at a food bank and just give of your time. Throwing money at something, if you have money, is really easy, but it's really harder to be boots on the ground. And I think that is like the most important part of being. And just find something that you're purposeful about, something that you have a passion for. And not only that, sometimes I've done things that I didn't think I was going to have a passion for, but then ended up having a passion for it because of seeing the results. So it's just getting out there, finding something, and you don't necessarily have to have money to make it happen. Just be a giver of your time.
I think that's probably the most important thing that you've said. This whole conversation has been amazing, by the way, but to just give of your most important asset, and that's our time. People need us. They don't need our money as much. Money's a good thing to give too, because sometimes it funds the causes, but when you volunteer and give your time, I think that's, for me, that's where I get the greater reward. I mean, it feels good to write a check, but it feels better to be there and to build something or to give something or to put a packet together that's going overseas or whatever that project is, that feeling you get.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree
Absolutely.
with that.
Yep.
Well, Heidi, it's been such a pleasure. What a fun conversation. I just really want to thank you for being one of the faces of real estate and for making a difference in your community. And I know that your message will inspire others to give back and to do great things. So I wish you continued success as you continue to serve your community. Thank you so much for being part of the faces of real estate.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.